Hello and welcome to Zach Taylor Firing Day for you Bengals fans like myself. But outside of that, welcome to Late Night Reds. I'm Skyler Webker. He's Ben Brown. And Ben, we have some news to go over since we last talked. We were super high on Kyle Schwarber, kind of got our hopes up and thought that was in the bag to really come out. Honestly, the Reds left the winter meetings this week looking like the biggest loser.
Yeah. Unfortunately for us as Reds fans and us as just somebody that, we try to breed positivity on this podcast and we try to look at the lighter side of things. And we were going against everything that Reds management has shown us in the past. Unfortunately for us, it proved to be that way. And I'm sure we'll get into the numbers and all that stuff later. But it's just kind of disheartening because I think they had it within their grasp. Like it was something that was right there. It was something that, if you do it the right way, it maybe works. But I just can't imagine that they walked in to a meeting to talk about Kyle Schwarber and bringing him to the Reds. And I can only imagine there was not a whole lot of flexibility. It was probably around a whole bunch of incentives and a whole bunch of stuff that honestly, a good baseball player or a good person that has good money sense isn't going to really want to walk into. Especially when somebody says, look, I don't care what you do, you're guaranteed 150. Like, we're not going to put on incentives, we're not going to backload. I didn't even see the contract. I don't know if it's backloaded, front loaded, I don't know what it is. But the Phillies literally said, we're going to do this, this is what you're going to get paid. And there was no other stuff to it. So I just can't imagine the Reds did the same thing. And then you lose a guy like Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mixed reports on what the Reds' offer was. I know for sure it was at least 125. Some people have said the Reds have went up to match the Phillies or anything like that, but the deal was around a lot of, like you said, incentive base or anything like that, which it just tells me that the front office is playing with scared money in a sense. Like they don't want to put all the money and all the guaranteed in because you don't know what you're getting from a 32, 33-year-old hitter. I mean, we all know what you're getting. Like, that was the guy. That was the guy. It were all the reasons under the sun. He's 30 minutes from here, everything like that. And the clubhouse leader, the production on the field, how he would fit with this young team. But I'm not as upset at missing out on Kyle Schwarber. Like, obviously, there was a great chance of him going back to Philly. He loved playing there, and clearly one of the reasons why he chose to go back. But I'm more upset with how the front office has responded to missing out on Kyle Schwarber. They kind of did it like just threw their hands up and said, "Well, we're not trying." Or like the kid that lost it and just sitting on the sideline pouting about it. Like, all the comments that they've made after the fact about, well, we were only going to do it for him because we thought he would affect ticket sales. How about the team? Like, the team would affect ticket sales. Like, if it's a great pedigree winning team, that's going to drive ticket sales. And just then the like staunch position about not raising payroll or being to where it was last year. And Ken Rosenthal put out there how they're not chasing any significant free agents after that. It was kind of like him or no one else. And like, those are a lot of things that are really frustrating me about this team.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you on that. And for me, it's like what's the end game? Like what are we trying to do? And I get the feeling, as a fan and from a fan perspective, because that's all I know. Um, like once the Schwarber deal, like they couldn't get close to that. They literally became scared money. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to swing on anybody. We're not going to try to make a move and pivot. We're not going to try and look at maybe a lower tier free agent that could help our lineup. Um, we were literally looking at the Kyle Schwarber deal as what we could get back as ownership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what will he do for ticket sales? What will he do for marketing? What would he do for jersey sales? What would he do for all the other stuff that's going on, outside of making the baseball team better? So I feel like they were looking at it on a wrong perspective. Like, of course, everybody knows Kyle Schwarber's good at baseball, and he would have helped our lineup. I just don't feel like they were looking at it that way. I really don't. I really feel like they were looking at it as, if we spend this money here, we'll make back what we can in return. Oh yeah, he may help our baseball team, or he may not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they were looking at it that way. And that's the sad part about all of this, is that we just want our baseball team to be better and be
Yeah.
competitive. But that involves ownership wanting the same thing. And all this time we've been sitting here trying to sell the fact that, you've got Terry Francona, you've got Ellie De La Cruz, you've got this, you've got that. And I'm starting to get the feeling that we're giving ownership way too much credit. Like, and I'm falling into that trap of, I want to believe that all these things that they've got going positive are going to make them want to do things to keep that train rolling. But I don't know if it is. I don't know if they are. I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they want to do the things that are going to make them better. I don't know if they want to go all in on different guys to do things. And that's not about missing Schwarber. Anybody could have missed Kyle Schwarber. All 31 other teams missed Kyle Schwarber. That's neither here nor there. But then to say, I'm just going to stand pat and do nothing, and this is what our budget is, and this is like you went right back to your old habits and your old ways of, we're only going to do this much. We're the small market team, and we're like come on, man. Like we're tired of hearing that. Like we're tired.
Yeah.
And as Reds fans, ticket buyers, season ticket holders, they're tired. They're tired of hearing that. So whether you swing and miss at Kyle Schwarber or not, that was a moot point. But don't sit on your hands. Like make something happen. You already showed us that you had money to do stuff. Now you can't take it back. Like, you can't be like, oh no, we didn't have that money. You're like, no, you already put it out there that you were willing to do something for Kyle Schwarber. That means you should be able to willing to do something for. I'm not saying you got to go swing big, but there's other guys out there that are under Kyle Schwarber, but better than what we've got, and you could go get.
And we made the comparison of, it'll be like when Griffey came home because he's such a hometown kid or anything like that. And I think they took that, like you said, oh, that'll drive ticket sales because he's the hometown kid coming home, not it making the team better. Like that seemed, that was the perfect like nail on the head, is that they're looking at it as, oh, that'll drive ticket sales, not this team will be better, which will drive ticket sales, and this team will go to the playoffs and split revenue shares and make a deep run in the playoffs to get ticket sales. And think about all the money you would, like, if you can get to a World Series and win a World Series, think about all the money you would make back just from that. Like, everybody would be buying more merchandise. They're signing up for tickets next year. They're all the playoff revenue. Like, this team doesn't seem to see that baseball will make the money. Like, the team will make you money. And to all their comments about we reinvest every dollar and this, that, and whatever the comments are, like they're trying to say like, oh, we don't take as much money and we reinvest everything back into this team. And I want Nick Kroll and the Castellini family to make money. I want them to make as much money as humanly possible. The only way that's going to happen is if the team is worth spending money on. Like, I don't care that we run it like a nonprofit. I want you to make money. I want to spend money on you and your team, but you're not giving me the reason or value to do that. Like, I want you guys to win, and I will pay money for you guys to win. That is how a baseball team should be ran, not scared money and we got to stay at 120 million or whatever. Like, great, you missed out on Kyle Schwarber. That's fine. Like, that's not what fans are upset about. It's how they've responded since then. It's just been horrible. And I know Phil hasn't said anything yet, but whenever that guy gets in front of a mic, it's terrible. Whenever Nick Kroll gets in front of a mic, it's terrible. So, like, everybody should just talk to Tito. Tito should be the only person allowed to talk in the media.
Yeah, I hope for their sake that they have, which I know I'm putting this out here and it's probably going to be 100% wrong, but I hope for their sake that they have some kind of plan. But it was like, I mean, I think you put it in our group chat or somewhere where it's like they're literally like the kid who got the ball taken and the kid took their ball home and then they just pouted because the kid took their ball home. Like they just pouted and they were like, it's not fair. It's not fair. We should have no, that's like spin the block. Let's do something different. Have a plan B, have another option to make something else work. Because here's the bottom line of all this, and you bring up a great point. We want to spend money. We want to see a winner. We will spend money if you make them a winner. I will go to games if you're going to commit to winning. Yeah. I will go to games with friends if you're going to commit to winning. I am going to bring my family to games if you commit to winning. And so would other people. But if you're not going to do that, then it's the same thing. Like, nobody's going to commit to you if you're not going to commit to us. If you're saying this is the best I can do, well, then I'm going to do the best I can do, and I'm going to keep my money in my pocket until you're going to prove to me that you can do better.
God, that's such a good stance. Like if you're saying this is the best you can do, well, this is the best we can do. So, like,
yeah, that's the right move. I'll watch you.
Are the entertainment. It's horrible, and I see everybody in the comments. They're like, Linus in the football, good old Charlie Brown reference, just acting like the spoiled rich kid. Like, this front office, they probably are the definition of like the participation trophy kid. Like, oh, we didn't get first, but we deserve a trophy too. Like, come on, like, you didn't put in first place effort.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're the kid that never studies for a test, gets C's, and then wonders why I get C's. You're like, you did nothing to earn an A, so you put in C effort, you're gonna get a C. Like you're that kid. Like, man, everybody else got A's and I got a C. How'd I get a C? Well, did you study? Nah. Why would I study? You're like this is how this works. You know, A plus B is always going to equal C. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's just insane.
It's crazy to me that it feels like the Reds front office is the only one that acts like this. Like, the Pirates front office, they're just like, yeah, we know we suck. We know we're terrible. The A's front office, they know they suck. They know they're terrible. Like, the Reds front office is the only one that like has to put on this pageantry or this fit about it, or like, oh, well, we reinvest every dollar back into this team. It's like, first off, no, you don't. I'm sure everybody in the ownership group takes their shares and pockets whatever they need, and then you give the scraps out to the team. Like, so don't say, oh, we just reinvest every dollar we earn, we reinvest it back in. Well, I guarantee you're out earning $120 million a year.
Yep.
Guarantee it. And like, you're probably making maybe not $120 million, but you're definitely making millions on opening weekend just alone. And I'm starting to lose focus in the frustration here, but like, I just try. Like, we want you to be rich. I want Bob Castellini to be richer, and I want to help get him there. Put a winner on the team so I can spend money on it. I'm not spending money on a loser. I'm not going to the racetrack and picking the last horse.
Nope.
Like, come on.
It's really kind of a, like, it's a weird anomaly. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the end game. Like, like I said before, like, I don't understand what the plan is. I don't understand the end game. I don't understand, like everybody goes out and does their due diligence. Everybody goes out and sees what they need to be a winner, and what they need to put around their team to be better. And I feel like we always wait for everybody else to make moves, and then they're like, "Oh, is everybody done? All right, cool. We'll take this guy and this guy and this guy." I'm like, well, yeah, those guys are the last bits that are left because everybody else picked who they wanted. So, like, I don't know. I just wish that they had some kind of. I wish they have a plan, an idea. Like, because we talk about it all the time. The window's small. Like the window is so small to be able to compete and win in this league, that when you have young studs and you've got guys that can play, you want to be able to put guys around them in order for you to be successful. And I feel like the ownership is like, we're good enough. Like, we made that run to the wild card. I feel like that may have been the worst thing we could have done, because now I feel like they may feel like, well, we made it to the playoffs with the guys we got. So if the guys we got are good enough, then we should be fine. And then we can spend less money and just fill a roster to be here and there. And the guys we got already made us to the playoffs. So let's just stay with that. And then that's where you sit. And, we talked about Terry Francona making a difference. And I'm starting to be like, man, I don't know if he is or isn't, because I think he wants to do stuff. But he may be even realizing how tough it is to get our management to move. So I'm hoping he's not getting discouraged. He says all the right things because he's been around the block a few times, but I hope he's not getting discouraged. Like, dude, like, what did I walk into? Like, these guys promised me this. They said they were going to do this. And every time we have a chance to do something, they sit on their hands because they got burnt by Candelario, or they got burnt by whoever, you know what I mean? Like, just different guys. I'm hoping Tito is not losing faith in management, because he does have an opportunity to bring a winner. But I think he's realizing that he may have stepped into a situation that he was given false hopes about, because I'm sure they sold him when he was saying, hey, man, we're going to do whatever it takes to put a winner on the field and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, all right, I'll take these flip-flop off and get off the beach and come in here and manage. And now here we are. It's the winter meetings. We miss out on a big free agent. We do nothing. We make zero moves or zero effort. Oh, yeah, my bad. We did sign Emilio Pagan. I take that back. I regress. But we don't do anything to help bolster our lineup to make us a better baseball team.
And I don't think Tito is losing faith, just because of all those years in Cleveland. Like, Cleveland's got some pretty tough owners as well, but they have an excellent development team. So Tito knew that he was getting guys coming up from the farm and that they were going to be ready. I mean, all of those guys, the Jose Ramirez, the Francisco Lindors, the Corey Klubers, everybody that they've ever had, all of their pitchers, the Shane Biebers,
Yep.
So he just knew that they were constantly going to have this development team where I don't think the Reds do yet. I mean, they're getting a lot more good guys rolling up. I would say their development is better than the prior years, but it doesn't match Cleveland's right now. And so we'll see. I mean, they have been linked in trades. So we can go over that first, or next, but I want to go over kind of the other huge just front office blunder here. So Ellie De La Cruz was announced that he would play in the World Baseball Classic. Then kind of a couple days later, that post was taken down, and news has gone around that Ellie hasn't received permission from the Reds to compete. And the first thing I thought was, and this was kind of right after the Kyle Schwarber stuff, the first thing I thought was, is this front office trying to just piss everybody off? Like, why would you not let this guy compete in the World Baseball Classic?
Hold on, you let him compete with a half-torn quad? What are you worried about that baseball classic? You know what I mean? I don't know. Listen. There's some things going on up there that the right hand never talks to the left. What is the issue with him playing in the World Baseball Classic? It's more exposure for your team. It's more exposure for Ellie. It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing for any of your players to be invited to play in. It's an honor to play for your you're playing for your country. For Ellie, that's a big deal. Why in the world would you piss off your superstar and say, "Hey, you got to get permission"? He's playing for his country. What the heck? What are you trying to do? Now is not the time to show that you can put your big boy pants on. No, that now is not the time to do that. Now is not the time to show that you're the boss and I can do this and I make the calls. No. That's not where we're going to base our stands on. That's not the hill we're going to die on about. Now you're going to try to stand up to Ellie De La Cruz about playing in the World Baseball. No. What are we doing? It doesn't even make any sense.
Your comment about oh, now you can put your big boy pants up, but you couldn't do it in July when he tore his quad, but you still made him out there for 100 games. But now it's a problem because he's not playing for your team. So now it's a problem.
Yeah.
This ownership group and this front office is just, like I said, I think their mission this offseason was just to piss everybody off.
Yeah. If everybody gets mad, then nobody comes to games. It's great.
Where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? But yeah, that's just a really dumb hill to stake your claim to, that now we're going to stand up to LA playing in the World Baseball Classic where he can show off his talents and abilities to the world, bring more eyes to actually Cincinnati Reds baseball, because that's what he's representing. Oh, and by the way, he gets to represent his country with his fellow countrymen who also play Major League Baseball, because their teams aren't idiots and said, hey, you know what? Go represent your country. Have a great time. Enjoy it. Hope you guys won it all, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But we got the one ownership that says, you got to get our permission, which I'm sure most teams have that in the contract, but it was an afterthought. Yeah, dude, I'm not going to stop you from playing for your country. That's a major honor. That's a major honor. So who knows?
So
it's the more I talk about it, the more angry I get.
I know. Let's zoom out of the anger here. Let's get to the other stuff where the Reds actually have been linked to trade. So it seems like their method around anything is, all right, well, we're not going to look in the free agent market anymore. We're going to focus on trades. The two that they've really been linked to has been Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks, who is a second baseman and outfielder. So we'll see what the Reds kind of want to do there. And Brandon Lau, outfielder, first baseman, DH for the Tampa Bay Rays. Mm-hmm. We can stick with Ketel Marte because we've hit on it a little bit when they were linked to it earlier this offseason. It sounds like the price wouldn't be Hunter Green like they were saying before. But I like the move if they're able to pull it off, because you don't know what you're getting from Matt McClain. I mean, you hope a better year. But even if you get the same year, you have another second baseman out there that you can put out there, and he's played outfield, so you can put him out in left field and call it a day as well. You get a much better on base. You're not going to get the big thump that you got from Kyle Schwarber. And maybe that's why Kyle Schwarber chose not to come, because the hitting coach went to the meetings also, and he probably was like, so what do you think about just slapping the ball? Just slap it all around the field. Home runs, those are rally killers. Don't hit those. But Ketel Marte would be a nice ad.
Yeah, no, I think that's if you can make that happen, I think that's a good move. He's a very versatile player. I think he batted 283 last year. He had 28 bombs, 72 RBIs, 136 hits. So I mean, that's a good bat to put into your lineup. And like you said, he's flexible. He can play infield, he can play outfield, and he gives you a good piece. Now, depending on what package they put together for him, hopefully, if that's the case, hopefully they don't. Like I said, there is only a few guys on the roster that I say don't trade, and definitely Hunter Green's definitely on that list. But yeah, if they could put a package together and get a guy like that, I think that's a good move. I think that's something that's going to benefit your lineup, and it gives you that extra bonus of giving a guy that can get on base, and do some things and make some things happen. Especially if it's, if he's playing second, Matt McClain's not playing, or if he's playing in the outfield, I think he gives you something.
Yeah, I just have to do the math. He's making about 17 mil a year now. So they'll probably trade, probably like a Brady Singer, because I have the feeling the Reds want to get out of that. Yeah. Definitely going to trade Gavin Lux, because they just really don't have a need for him with the emergence of South Stewart. So I think Ketel Marte would be a good ad, and those two guys right there are over 17 mil that you offload. Obviously, I think the Diamondbacks are going to want prospects and stuff like that, which are fine, because I don't really see any prospects coming up anytime soon for the Reds. I mean, they have all these positions that are pretty bolted down. Like catcher, short, that Duno could come up and be catcher, but third base, you pretty much have locked down. Wow. Shortstop, you have locked down. Right field, you have locked down. And then you have Spencer Steer, who's not going anywhere. So he's first base, left field, wherever you decide to put him. I would say second base, kind of. Like, it's going to be Matt McClain, unless they use him as trade bait for something else. But I doubt the Reds are going to sell low on Matt McClain. So we'll see. We'll see there. And the other one was Brandon Lau. So this would be strictly, you're just getting a bat, because this guy is not much of a fielder, but I think that's okay, because that's what this team needs. They need a bat. Yeah, free agent after next year. So it would be a rental.
Yeah, I think that's a I think that would be a solid move, because it fits what we like you said, he wouldn't have to play in the field, and we need the bat. So I mean, it's one of those things where, even though it's just a rental, his bat could definitely help you, throughout the season. He's another guy with a little bit of pop. He drives and runs. He batted at what did it say, 256, got 130 hits. I mean, strictly a bat, like you said. But it fits what we need, right? It fits middle of the order, a little bit of pop. I mean, I like that move too. What's his salary look like? Do you know?
I'd have to pull it up on Spotrac. He's in his last year, so probably a decent amount of money. Wow.
Yeah.
11 mil. So
okay,
basically what you're paying for Brady's Singer. Which I would take that in. I mean, let's see. Yeah, last year. So this is his last year, and then he's an unrestricted free agent next year. I think it's fine. To me, I don't love when the Reds take the rental players, just because for what this team is and the nucleus and the core that they are, I think they need a consistent veteran leader voice year in and year out.
Yeah.
And they're not getting that with Austin Hayes. They're not getting that with, these guys that they try to bargain bin and get. So I like the move. I think for the development of this team, they need a consistent veteran voice. And I think Ketel Marte would bring that. I think obviously Kyle Schwarber would have been the 1A need to get for that. So those are the two that they've been linked to. There are a couple of other moves that I think they could make. It's been rumored that Philly is looking to shop Brandon Marsh. So that would be a name that I would feel good about getting. They desperately want to get out of the Nick Castellanos deal, which I'm not saying bring back Nick Castellanos, but if they're desperate to try and get rid of some of these contracts, I think Brandon Marsh should be a guy to really go after.
Yeah, I think he'd be good. Yeah, I think he'd be a good fit. I'm trying to hold on. What year is he in his contract? Do you know?
I'm about to look
Sorry,
it up.
I keep putting you on the spot.
2028. So he's got a couple more years.
Oh, okay. So he's got a couple years. Yeah. No, I like that. I think that would be a good move. Couple years left on the contract. He's a young dude, 27. Yeah, I don't think that'd be a bad move at all. Give you another bat in there in the lineup. He's another one, bats 280. I mean, he only hit 11 home runs, but he gets on base consistently. So yeah, I mean, I like that move.
Yeah, he's had over 100 hits for the last 3 seasons in a row. So you like that. Definitely a good on-base guy, which we know how valuable on-base is. And I think if you get enough of these on-base guys, and that might be what the Reds are trying to do, kind of like the Moneyball team, which I hate referring to, but you get a bunch of guys that are good at getting on base, your likelihood is those guys get on base consecutively and drive in runs and win games. They still need a thumper. I'm not going to let that go, but that might be another guy that I would like to see them go after. Jesse puts in here to bring back Eugenio Suarez, which, hey, bringing him back as a full-time DH, I think that would be a ton of value for Eugenio Suarez and the Reds. And Steve Trent Rosecrans put out there, like, when the trade deadline came in the season, the 3 teams that were linked to Eugenio Suarez the most were the Tigers, the Reds, and the Mariners. 3 teams that he's all played for before. So that tells you that these clubs see the value of Eugenio Suarez in your clubhouse, which I think I'm always a big clubhouse guy. And I think if the Reds want to do this, I think that would be a great move of bringing in a full-time DH, pay him, give him a 3-year contract or something small with a higher AAV. I I think that would be a good move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad move at all. He's a guy that is beloved in our city. He's a veteran guy. He's won games. He mashes, and he doesn't have to worry about playing the field. Like all he has to do is come in and hit baseballs. So, and he's a good locker room guy. Everybody's always talked about how well he's been received in the locker room and how well he, the good vibes guys and all that stuff. And I think that's a piece out there that he wants. I think he would like to be back in Cincinnati because I think that he enjoyed his time here. So I don't understand. I don't understand why that would be bad. I mean, I know he's older, but I think you save yourself when you're not playing in the field. Like when all you got to do is bat, you're saving. I think you're saving yourself. I think that knocks down that everyday wear and tear at his age, where he can just come in and be a DH and just mash and do what he needs to do. So,
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be a good move, and that kind of leads me into like, where do we go from here? Because as it sits right now, this team is probably slightly worse than last year. Just still missing the offensive help because they don't have Andujar or Austin Hayes, who did give some sort of offensive production throughout the year. They're still only have one lefty in the pen right now, which is Sam Mole. And they're missing a huge inning eater in Nick Martinez. And yes, we're getting Rhett Lauder back, and the emergence of Sal Stewart helps a bit. And you hope all these guys ratchet up and develop more. But I think we could agree this team's probably slightly worse than what they were last year.
No, I would agree with that 100%. Because you're missing some key, like I think we talked about this last year, how important Nick Martinez was to this baseball team. Like how valuable he was being able to be a starter, a reliever, eat innings, be a short day guy, be a long day guy. His importance was huge. I just don't think that you can have a whole lot of success if you don't have that threat in the middle of your lineup. You gotta have a big bat there, and I think you saw the difference when like we talked about this before, Andahar was in our lineup. Like he gave that threat of the power of being able to get the ball out and be able to drive in runs. So I think that's a big part. Sam Moll can't be your only left-handed arm, so you got to go get a lefty reliever somewhere. And that's one of the pieces you can't skimp on, right? Like you can't skimp on getting a left-handed reliever. You got to have somebody in there that you can rely on. You got to find a bat somewhere. And I know they want to play money ball and small ball and on base percentage, but your lineups, major league lineups, are so much better when you have somebody in the middle that's a threat to hit a home run, to be able to drive in runs in bulk. Not one by one and chip here, chip there. Like you got to have a guy that's a threat to be able to hit the ball out of the ballpark at any different time of the game, at any at bat. So I think those are the keys. They've got to not be scared. Find a bat. Whether it be Suarez, whether it be re-signing Andujar, whether it be whatever the case may be. Find a bat for the middle of that lineup. Get some lefty relief help, and you still need another outfielder. I mean, I still believe that you need another outfielder to be able to have success, where you have three guys out there that are out there consistently playing in the outfield, getting that continuity. The same thing with the infield. You know what I mean? Like I think our infield is pretty set, but our outfield needs that continuity as well.
I would agree. I think I could live with the outfield piece. Like if you want to have Will Benson be the left fielder or our platoon, whatever, like I think I could live with that if that big bat is somewhere in the lineup, whether it's DH, first base, left field, doesn't matter. I could live with the outfield the way it is with that big bat. I think we've talked about it, the importance of Nick Martinez, but it's a guy, I have his baseball reference pulled up here. He gave you 165 innings last year. Like,
Jeez, Pete.
so you have 165 innings you have to fill. Plus, if you're getting out of the Brady Singer thing and trying to trade him, that's another 170 innings. So those are two huge inning eater guys that if you sent Brady Singer out of town, like, that's a lot of innings that somebody has to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're getting Rhett Lauder back, and yes, you'll get a full season of Chase Burns, but that's still not enough for those two guys. I mean, that's one injury away from not having those guys. I mean, we thought we would have Rhett Lauder at all this year, and we didn't get Rhett Lauder at all this year. So I think they need to find some inning eaters for sure. And like I said, maybe it is those guys that I mentioned, but to lose 350, almost 350 innings, that's going to sting. That's going to sting a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm hoping that they think of it in baseball sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think we already talked about how like, I don't know how motivated they are. But I'm hoping they think of it in baseball sense. Like, you got to get guys to replace guys, because those guys were important. Like, those guys meant a lot to this team and a lot to this team's success. So if you're going to make those moves and say, hey, we're moving on from those guys, you better be ready to pull guys in to be able to do what they were able to do to make this team successful, and eating innings and being able to go out there and pitch solid and give you solid starts, solid relief help. You got to find guys out there that are going to be able to do that, or this team's going to take a step backwards. And you bring up a good point with Rhett Lauder and Chase Burns. Like, I'm glad that we'll have those guys, but they've both been off injured. I mean, like, Rhett Lauder didn't pitch at all last year. So, so are we going to rely on him to make it through a full season? Which I hope he does. I mean, for our sake, I hope he does. So, you know, it's kind of the gift and the curse. We get those guys back, but, you know, they still need to complete a full season of Major League Baseball, because in that sense of the game, they're still youngins.
And I forgot that I felt like we saw Scott Barlow like a million times. What did he end up with last year? And it's another 69 innings. So they got some innings to fill for sure. And find somebody to fill these innings. Find a bat. And I think you feel much better about this team. But as we get kind of close out of here, I propose that we start a Nick Kroll drinking game. So anytime you hear, we just like the guys that we have. Anytime you hear, we tried, but other teams were asking too much, or some variant of that, or we tried, but it takes two to make a deal, or like, we tried, but we weren't comfortable giving up. Yes, we got there's so many in here that we gotta like. I'm gonna put the APV out to all the listeners and to Twitter and everybody. Like, let's start the Nick Kroll drinking game, because I have a feeling we're all about to get blackout drunk by the time spring training comes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, for that, we'll hop on out of here. To anybody looking to, I don't know if you want to go to the last couple of Bengal games or not, but use our code Riverfront to get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. Again, that can be Bengals games, Reds games for this coming season, Disney on Ice. Doesn't matter what the event is. Just use our code Riverfront to get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. We encourage everybody to join our ever-growing Cincinnati sports fan family through Patreon and support the show. It's patreon.com/RiverfrontCincy. The smallest price level, entry level, is like $2 a month, and you get access to our Slack channel, which is super fun, and we're in there all the time. You get to interact with us and Seth and everybody else, and it's just good old time. Give us a like and subscribe over on YouTube to catch the latest episodes, not only from our show, but from the Riverfront Red Show and Welcome to the Jungle. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Riverfront Cincy. And please subscribe to the audio version of the show for free. We're on all of the platforms. Give us likes, ratings, reviews, and everything elsewhere. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're just Cincinnati sports fans. Put on a good show for other Cincinnati sports fans. So tell us what you like, tell us what you don't. And hopefully by this time next week, we have some more news to talk about. Christmas news of this team that just loves to upset everybody. So for that, he's Ben Brown. I'm Skyler Webker. And as always, go Reds.
Reds.